Hello, and welcome to the PBJ series of channels. I'm Jay. This is my Projects by Jay channel, where I will be posting my woodworking and DIY videos. I also have a Photography by Jay channel, which shows some of my events and location photography, as well as a Playtime by Jay channel, which for now will focus mainly on my hobby of fishing, but will probably expand as I branch out into other hobbies. I may also develop a Puppy by Jay channel, which will be random videos of my puppy dog Asher. I'm a disabled veteran of the U.S. Army 3 years and U.S. Army Reserve 5 years. I'm also a retired registered nurse. I retired early due to health reasons related to my military service. Safety. I do woodworking because I find it enjoyable and relaxing. I enjoy making projects that my friends and family enjoy, such as these. I'm also planning on selling projects that I make, so look forward to me opening a store in the future. At this time, I'm new to video creation. I have no sponsorships or ads, and I'm hoping to replace some of my lost income through PBJ channels. You can help me do this by smashing that like button, subscribing to my channel, and clicking the notification bell so you are notified whenever I upload a new video. You can also share this video with your friends. And you can leave a comment. Doing all this will help spread my videos by feeding the video sharing services algorithms. I'm hoping to post videos anywhere from like weekly to monthly once I get my process down completely. This is my first completed video. It's a cherry shelf with wood burn accents that looks something like this. This shelf is a joint project between my wife and I. My wife did the wood burning, which I will discuss further in the video. I asked if I could record her doing the wood burning, but she's less than enthusiastic about the prospect of being in a YouTube video, so there's that. This is a lengthy video including the introductions and the reel. It lasts about an hour. My own wife can't tolerate listening to me for an hour, so I doubt you will either. So I've cut the completed video into segments roughly 10 to 15 minutes each. This is part 2 of 5. I hope YouTube does not slap a manipulation video label on me because it has been edited. Not to defraud the viewer, but because this video started as 4 hours long, and I also removed most of my ums as well. Since these videos use power tools, remember safety first, hearing protection, eye, vision protection, protection for your lungs, and your phone, just in case you have to call for help. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and click the notification thingy because it feeds the algorithms. I hope you enjoy the video. So this here is going to be a shelf. It's going to be made out of cherry, and it's going to have 4 pegs. And we're getting a dog. And this will be for the leash and the other accoutrements. My wife will have when she takes the dog out, she wants to have a backpack, baggies for poop and stuff like that, and also some water. So she wants a place to store it, and that's what this is going to be. So I'll be making it out of this piece of cherry. I'm just going to take my number 4. One of the things I like to do to test my plane, take a small piece of wood and run it across my plane to look at my shavings. That gives me an idea of where I'm starting, so I know I'm not going to be starting with a shaving that's too thick. Do a little bit of planing. The epoxy planes really well. Right now it seems to plane very nicely. Now I'm starting to hit wood. This one's against the grain, back up a hair. Go back in a hair at a time. That's one side, and that's pretty darn smooth right there. It feels like it's quite the surface of the wood, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And unfortunately, because this is at a knot, I have grain going in every direction. So no matter which direction I'm planing in, I'm going cross grain. Smooth, thin shaving. So that side's good too. I still have to sand this. The next thing I want to do is I want to make the pegs to hang stuff on. And I've come up with a little shape here, which I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on. So this is the shape that I've come up with. It's like a J a little bit. That's going to be the hook shape. This was part of the corner. And then from the inside, what I'm going to do is, after I cut this to shape, I'm going to go ahead and transpose it over the inside. I'm going to trace this out and cut two more out of here. So I'm going to end up with 4 hooks real close to the same size, all made out of cherry, all made out of the same one board piece of wood. So let's go ahead and do that next. I got my dust collection hooked up. I actually have in my garage 2 separate lines for power. I have this line here, which was the original line that was put in when the house was built, and this is a 15 amp plug. The other one is a plug that I had put in by an electrician. This is a 20 amp line, and it's about, well, maybe a foot and a half away, but the reason I need that is because every time I tried to run any of my nice pieces of equipment along with my dust collection, I would blow a fuse. So by having a separate line, it enables me to run both at once. One of the things you need to have with, if you're doing this in your garage, if you want to try to have dust collection and decent sized tools, you're going to need to have a separate line put in. Because typically all the plugs in your garage are all going to be on one line. Maybe the builders should think about that. Maybe the builders should think about putting in 3 outlets, one on that side, one on this side, and then maybe one on the wall, and specifically 3 different lines. And they can go into with other stuff in the house, but separately within the garage, so you can run things like this. Bandsaw, really bad with sawdust. Make sure you wear a respirator. Make sure that you have your dust collection, and for the noise, wear hearing protection. My battery died, so I had to change my battery out. I got the part cut out. Now I've got to do some shaping. I'm going to start by doing some shaping with some hand tools. I've got a couple of rasps that I can use. I've got a round one, and I've got one that's got a flat with a curved or a semicircle on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my vise, and I'm going to start working on it to shape. Because of the fact that I'm going to be going, if I start pressing too hard on any area that might break, I'm going to support that in the vise as I work. It doesn't take much. The rasp is designed for taking lots of wood, bunches of wood, fairly good amounts quickly. So you don't have to press hard. Let the tool do the work. I will definitely need to go over this with sandpaper, but this will give me a nice starting point. And with the files, you can do some shaping of sorts. The difference between a rasp and a file, from my understanding, and I could be wrong, my background is not trained as a carpenter, my background is, or a woodworker, my background is training as a nurse. My understanding is the difference is that a rasp is for wood and a file can be for either or. I have this part cut out. This shape has been approved by the client, and in this case the client is my wife. The way this is going to work is the shelf will be here, and this will attach to the shelf this way, and this will give us a small hook and a little bit larger hook. I've got two of them now done because they were ganged together. And what I'm going to do at this point is, this is the other block of wood that came out of the center from here. And I'm going to position this as best I can. The main side that needs to be accurate is this side here, because that's the side that's going to attach to the shelf itself. If the front is off a little bit, if this part is off a little bit, that's not quite as significant because it's more appearance. This side has to be flat. So I'm going to move this around till I optimize this fully. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to keep my fingers on 3 points and move this around until I find a spot. And right about there where I take best advantage of the two pieces, I'm going to go ahead and trace with a nice sharp pencil. That outline has now been transferred. This is now going to be my second set of pegs. At this point, I've got my pegs or holders, I've got them roughly shaped, smoothed them and broke off the edges. I used a variety of rasps and files to do this. This particular file here is one that I highly recommend. This one, the filing edge, is actually made out of hacksaw blades that are, this one looks like fairly fine wood blade. Basically, this is a bunch of saw blades that are spaced and weaved and together with long rivets. Basically, you're sawing through the wood as you're filing and shaping. You use the rough edge to shape really quickly, and then you use the fine edge to do some fine shaping. You use the rough side for doing major shaping and then the fine side for doing some smoothing. You still need to take sandpaper to it. At this point, I'm done with the files and rasps. So the next step is sanding, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill through the back into these. I'm going to drill with a countersink and put some screws to hold these in place. I'm going to go in a little bit so that I can plug them. Then I'm going to use a keyhole router bit to put hanging points within this. And more sanding. So far I've done 60, I've done 100. So far all I've done is small parts. I've still got a couple more grits to go on the small parts, but I'm going to stop now, go have dinner, and then tomorrow I'll do some of the power sanding, sanding with an orbital sander on some of the larger pieces, and then continue on some of the smaller pieces.